Hi everyone, I'm Jamie Wagner and I'm here to review a nonfiction picture book for you called The House That Jane Built, a story of Jane Addams. It is by Tanya Lee Stone and illustrated by Catherine Brown. This book is a really inspirational children's book about the first American woman to win the Nobel Peace Prize. And her work. Jane Addams, I had never heard of her before. I just grabbed this book off my library's shelf, but I'm grateful that I was able to read it and learn about her. It really inspired me. The story goes that when she was a child, she noticed coming from a wealthy family that there were people that didn't have what she had. And she told her father that one day she wanted to do something to change the world. And she definitely did. This is the late 1800s, early 1900s, when Jane was alive. She was a very educated woman. These illustrations are beautiful watercolor drawings of her, paintings of her. She went to Europe as a young woman in her 20s and noticed that the poverty there as well. And while she was there, she met some wealthy people that had established settlement houses where they taught the poor ways to overcome their situation and improve their situation. And she knew she wanted to do that back in America. So she went to Chicago and bought a home. She started paying rent on it with the idea of owning it, and the owner actually gave it to her after finding out what Jane wanted the house for. So she bought the biggest house she could in the filthiest neighborhood in Chicago and worked to turn that area around. Let's see here. One story that I really liked in here was that this man broke into the house and with the intent on stealing things, and she asked him why he was there, why he was doing that, and he explained he had lost his job and that he needed food for his family, he needed money. And so she said, "Come back tomorrow morning," and she gave him a job. And she's also very generous. People would give her gifts, and everything that all the money she needed to run the house, she spent out of her own pocket. She gave away her own things. One of her friends gave her some underwear with her initials embroidered on it, and she's like, "You can't give these away, it has your name on it," and she gave them away anyway. So her whole life was focused on just serving these people. She established the first children's playground in America, right there in Chicago, a public bathhouse, a kindergarten with afternoon and evening classes for children and adults. Some children had to work, and so she wanted them to be educated as well, so she provided that for them. It ended up expanding into 13 different buildings. They had a gymnasium, a theater, a music hall, an art house, a coffee house, several different things to give that community opportunities to learn and grow and really shine and reach their potential. So in part, all of her efforts, like if you know of any community center in your neighborhood or area, they really have Jane Addams to thank for that. Her influence helped to establish more throughout the country to help all of the immigrants that were coming in, all the impoverished people in the area. So the last couple pages are actual pictures of Jane Addams and more of her story and how she really was an activist for human rights and equality, and then how she won the Nobel Peace Prize. So it's a wonderful, wonderful book. I was inspired by it, like I said, and I encourage you to check it out. Thank you. Have a good day.